But in the grocery stores on the farm, when they paid you all, did they pay you real money or they paid you like some type of ration, like some type of the
No,
farmer's
they
coin?
pay real money.
Mm,
You were paid real money.
mm-hmm.
You were paid real money. You didn't have to shop at his grocery store. We didn't shop at his grocery store. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't shop at his grocery store. My mama, we would we, during the summer of the year, we would pick berries. Berries grew along the ditch banks and stuff like that. We would pick berries. We would pick apples and pears. My mother would can them up, put them in a fruit jar, and can them. And we ate them during the year. We would have what we call a truck patch, where you raise your vegetables, and my mother would preserve them, and we would have that to eat off during the year, and it would be fresh, just like you open a can of green beans. My mother would open a jar of vegetables that they had put up, and it would be just as fresh. And my mama would can 15, 20, 30 fruit jars. We would have food to last all the winter.
Yeah, just from all the food that you had throughout the year. Now, did you only farm in Mississippi, or did you go to other states and farm during different type of weather, or like when it rained and stuff like that?
No,
You only.
we didn't own. Here's what they did on the sharecropper. As a sharecropper, you had a certain amount of acreage that you worked. We had a 20-acre patch of land that we worked.
Mm,
Once we chopped the 20 acres, and we finished chopping the 20 acres in, say, 1 week, it took us a week to chop the 20 acres. Well, the next week, you didn't have to come back and chop. We would go chop for the plantation owner. He had land that nobody was assigned to. We would go chop that land, and he would pay us $3 a day. We would
mm,
chop a week, and then we would make that money. And the next week we would come and chop our land.
right.
And next week we would go chop back for him. Well, if it rained during the week we were chopping for him, we didn't make any money.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it came for picking, you had to pick your 20 acres, and we normally made 20 bales. And so we would pick 2 bales a week. Once you pick 2 bales a week, then you would go and pick uh, for him, so you could make you some extra money. And you made $2.50 a hundred
Mm-hmm.
for 100 pounds of cotton. And it's a hard time to pick 200 pounds of cotton.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But
That would
that's
take
how
a
you
while.
made your money. That's how you made your money.
What were some of the punishments for some of the families that owe the plantation money? Like if they never cleared, what were some of the punishments?
There was no punishment. You just stayed on the farm until you paid your money. You never did. There was nobody punished or nothing like that. Nobody went to jail for not paying a bill.
What cause a lot of the families that went north. So if they still owed the farmers money, did the parents have to stay and only the kids could go? How did that work out? Could they still go north if they owed the farmers money? How was that? How did that work out?
Yeah. Uh, if as the children were growing up, because as the children grew up and left, they still owed the farmers money. They just left.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nobody got punished or nothing like that. They just left.
Okay.
A lot of them left during the night, but they just left.
You said a lot of them left during the night.
Yeah, they left during the night, but they just left and went north.
Mm.
Like you never did know Eudora and them, did you?
Is
Called Boogie?
that Paul's wife, Eudora?
No.
No.
Uh, I'm trying to think. Did you remember Aunt Cat?
Ain't Cat Rita's mom? Rita and Carol's mom? Or no?
Rita's and Carrie mother was named Boogie.
Boogie.
That
Okay.
was Eudora.
Okay.
Now but Eudora's mother, they moved in when they got old. Eudora came to Mississippi and moved her mom and dad to Chicago where they were.
Mm-hmm. And so what did that? So did they when they moved them? Did they move in the night or did they move them when they did they owe?
I don't know how they moved because I had left. I was in the military when they moved up north. I was in the military, but
Okay.
I don't. They didn't owe any. They didn't owe any. They didn't owe the farmer any money. I know that.
Okay.
So because they was no longer raising a crop, so he,
What made
you
your
only owed the farmer's money if you ate out of his store. If you were working on a half and you didn't make any money on the crop.
what made your father stay in Mississippi after most of his children left?
Well, one of the reasons why my father stayed in Mississippi, my father could not read or write,
Mm-hmm.
and being in Mississippi was the only way he could make a living for his family.
Mm-hmm.
He started several times to move up north because, like Uncle, we had Uncle Les, Uncle Lonnie, Isidore, and a lot of were telling us to move up north. They were trying to get my daddy to move up north. My daddy was a preacher. To move up here and you get a church and stuff. But Daddy wanted to make an honest living, and he couldn't read nor write, and he didn't believe in living off. But he knew how to farm. He knew how to farm, and he could he could plant cotton, plant corn, raise hog. He knew how to provide on a farm for his family, and that's where he stayed. Plus, my mother was sickly, and he knew he wouldn't have the funds, the money to provide for her. So the farm, living on the farm, my mama had medical care and stuff like that, and he could make a good living for my mom.
After your mom passed, why do you think your dad still stayed in Mississippi?
After my mom passed, my daddy got married again to Miss Nancy, and Miss Nancy owned. She owned land. She owned 40 acres of land, and he moved over there with her, and he turned that 40 acres of land into several hundred acres because he knew how to farm.
Right. So what ended up happening to that land after they both passed?
Well, she had 5 kids. She had 6 kids, and none of us grew up on the farm. So none of us was there.
Except for
and
Carl,
so
right?
that was all Daddy
Except for
and
Carl.
her kids. So
What
none of that belonged to us.
about Carl?
Huh?
What about Carl?
Now, Carl got a part in that, but we don't have a part in it.
Right, yeah.
So Carl and his brother, Carl and see, Carl got the same father as us, but not the same mother.
Right.
He got the same mother as her kid, and so he shared in that with them because he grew up there, but we didn't.
Right.
So they still got the land.
So more so going back to growing up in Mississippi, you got any specific stories that you went through as a kid, walking to school, or any difficult things that you went through as a kid in Mississippi?
No, see, that's the thing. A lot of people talk about all these weird stories. I don't have any of those weird stories. I had a good life in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my mother was sickly, I didn't have all of the clothes I wanted to have. I didn't have all of the fancy cars that I wanted to have. I didn't have all of the money that a lot of kids have. but I had what I needed.
Mhm.
I never went to school hungry.
Mhm.
I always ate 3 meals a day.
Mhm.
I didn't have money when I went to school every day, but I had food to eat. Lunch was only 15 cents a day,
Mhm.
and we always had lunch money. When I went to high school, uh, lunch was a quarter a day. We always had money. We always had money to buy lunch. We used to, don't tell anybody, but we used to steal pecans off the white man place and sell the pecans in town.
Mhm.
And I'd use pecan money to buy all of my clothes that I was going to wear to school for the whole year when I was in high school. So I always had nice clothes. I always had a little money in my pocket. So, people say, well, I was hungry. No, I wasn't hungry. I had a bed to sleep in. We had a nice home.
Well, not like hard, like your family had a rough time, or y'all didn't have this, and you didn't have that. Not like that. I mean, more so stories about similar to like you said, like how you used to, like you said, steal pecans and make money off of that, or any odd jobs you had to take to make more money, or how did the white people treat you growing up in Mississippi?
Well, the white people treated us. The people talk. The white people treated us. We knew that they saying you know your place, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We know that they had a white and a colored fountain. We
Right.
knew we weren't going to drink out the white fountain
Right.
because Daddy said respect authority.
Right.
You follow me what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Daddy taught us to respect authority. Wherever authority was, you respected authority.
Mm.
If the sign said stop, you stop. If the sign said 40 miles an hour, you went 40 miles an hour. If they said white only, you didn't go there. The little movie we had, there was a section for white, a section for black. You didn't go sit in the white section. And so as long as you didn't do that, you didn't have to worry about the white. You didn't have to worry about the white man because he wasn't gonna mess with you.
Well, like sometimes a lot of blacks did do exactly what they were supposed to do, and the white man still messed with them.
Say what?
I said a lot of times there were blacks doing exactly what they were supposed to do, and the whites still mess with them. I don't think that every black who had an issue with the whites is doing something they weren't supposed to do.
Well, now that's only recently, but when I was growing up, you didn't arbitrarily mess with black folks. The white man didn't arbitrarily mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were basically if you lived on Kirkane Place, you ain't gonna mess with Kirkane people because you had to chop cotton, you had to drive the tractor, and Kirkane said the thing was, if you stay out of jail, if you stay out of the ground, I'll keep you out of jail.
Right.
So you weren't gonna mess with people. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The policeman wasn't going to just beat up on you or kill you because he had to answer to the plantation owner, and they weren't going to answer to the plantation owner that you shot down one of his hands. No, you ain't going to do that. The local policeman shot and killed one of the guys in the town, and they fired him right on the spot.
They fired the police officer?
Fired the police officer right on the spot.